There's a specific kind that exists in a crowded the kind room, that hums the weight of forced the laughter, clinking of glasses, the empty exchanged words between who pretend people to matter to one another. I've always hated it. It's the sound of deception, a facade stretched thin over fragile ego. Tonight I stand at the edge watching my wife as she floats effortlessly through her smile curated for every passing glance. She looks radiant as always, untouchable. I sip my drink and let the bourbon remind me that I exist beyond the role of her husband. And then he approaches. A man I don't know, sharper smirk. He carries himself with the arrogance who has never had the consequences of his actions. You're Olivia's husband, right? He says, his voice soaked in amusement. I've heard so much about you. There's something in the way he says it. A knowing gleam in his eyes. A private joke he isn't letting me in on. I don't respond. I just watch him. I learned long ago that silence more than words ever like could, and I was right. Because after a beat he chuckles low and condescending. He leans in just slightly that you don't know half the things I do. He walks away before I can respond, and just like that the world tilts. The words don't leave me. They linger, slither beneath my skin like whispering all the possibilities. I don't want to entertain. I watch Olivia from across the way she laughs, a little too freely at his jokes. The way he touches the small when he leans of her back. It's subtle, practiced. The kind of intimacy that doesn't belong between mere co-workers. And then I know. For a moment there's only silence in my mind, a vast endless void where rage should be. Betrayal is an interesting thing. It doesn't always come as an explosion. It can be quiet, surgical. A knife slid delicately between without you realizing until you take your last breath. I don't confront her. Not yet. Confrontation is for men who need closure. I don't need closure. I need something else. Something that will last that night. As Olivia sleeps beside me, I stare at the ceiling and make my choice. Revenge isn't about anger. It's about balance. And I intend to correct the scales. I start small. A message sent from her phone while she's testing his reaction. A call overheard from the hallway. A glance at her calendar. At the hotel reservations under her name. It's easy, really. People like them think they are careful. They aren't. They only assume because no one has ever taken the time to study them. By the end of the week, I know everything. There's a shift within me. The anger dissolves, replaced by something more precise. It's not about hurting them. It's about undoing them. Step by step, I set the stage. A few carefully placed emails from an anonymous source exposing their workplace misconduct. Financial records leaked to suggest enough to warrant fraud, an investigation. Just enough to stain reputations beyond repair. A scheduled dinner between her Olivia and an interrupted by a video message that arrives mid-meal. A message featuring her caught in places they shouldn't be. By the time the storm I am already watching from a distance. It unravels spectacularly. He is fired within the week. His name dragged through his career, a carefully built empire of burned to nothing and deceit. Olivia. She pleads, swears she didn't mean for any of it to happen. But it doesn't matter. The damage is done. I don't yell. I don't throw accusations. I just watch her as realization dawns, that quiet, creeping horror, as she understands that she hasn't just lost me. She's lost everything. The night before she leaves, she stands in the doorway, tears staining her cheeks. Why? She asks, voice raw. You could have just walked away. I meet her gaze unflinching. Because you should have known who you were dealing with. She breaks. I don't. As she walks out of my life, I sit in the quiet and take a deep breath. Vengeance isn't always about destruction. Sometimes it's about reminding people that actions have weight, that choices have consequences, that respect is never something to be taken for granted. I pour myself another drink. Let the silence settle, and for the first time I feel at peace. Tell me, would you have done any different?